And you're very welcome to the Tuss Gaelic grounds for the second county quarter-final, the meeting of near neighbours Patrickswell and Adare in what should be a fascinating encounter as we are just approaching 5 minutes before throw-in here. Teams going through their familiar warm-ups, Adare just down in front of us to our left and Patrickswell over to our right. It's been an enthralling afternoon in the Gaelic grounds so far. If you've just joined us, it's Kilmallock who make their way to a county semi-final after a fantastic 5-17 win, 5-17 to 133 win over South Liberties in the first game, which was of course went to extra time. It's more of the same as what we'll expect from this one between two giants of the club hurling in Limerick in both Patrickswell and Adare. We have changes on both sides and we'll start with the Adare team to our left hand side, wearing of course their familiar red and black this afternoon. They start with Brian Curtin in goals. David Connolly, Ronan Connolly and John McSweeney will make the full back line for the Adare men. David O'Mahony, John Fitzgibbon and Jody Hannon in the half back line, while Wayne McNamara will partner Davy Lyons, a change in midfield for Joe Sweeney. Half forward line sees Mike Keane, Declan Hannon at 11 and Charlie McCarthy were 12. Mark Connolly will be inside with Brendan O'Connor at 14 and Willie Griffin lines at number 15. For Patrickswell, they go with their old reliables in Brian Murray starting goals. Shawnee O'Brien, Nigel Foley and John Flynn make up a very experienced full back line. Tom Nolan, Dermot Burns and Josh Considine will hope to hold that rear guard nice and solid against their neighbours from Adare. Partnering in midfield will be Mark Carmody and Calvin Carroll. Leading the attack will be 2018 Hurler of the Year Cian Lynch, with Jason Gallan to his left and Thomas O'Brien to his right. While inside it'll be Jack Kelleher, Aaron Gallan and a change where Patrick Kirby leaves way for his younger brother John to start at top of the left. This is a game where Patrickswell coming in after losing a game to Napier and winning against the Han last day out, while for Adare it is 2 wins from 2, winning against Mona Leon and also against Kildimo Palace Kenry. And interestingly enough, Matt, of the 4 teams in the quarter-final today, Adare are the team with a 100% record.
They are, and I'm probably not surprised. If there was anything that I was surprised about Adare, it was that they were relegated last year, because I thought in the group stages of the competition they
Yes, and we will have a minute's silence in a couple of moments' time. We're just awaiting to hear. It is for more than one person. Of course, we have the passing of John Duggan, who is for part of the Patrickswell club, and obviously we're going to stand in silence in memory of him and his family, and also for David McCarthy of the Glenrue club. Eamon Stapleton from Doon will be our match day referee. And now we will stand to attention for our Ron Navian. And all is in readiness for this battle. It's one that will see a number of unique matchups. Declan Hannon on Diarmuid Burns. And again, the question for that full back line of Adare, who is going to pick up Aaron Gillane?
Yeah, a big question, but even a bigger question, who's going to pick up Cian Lynch?
Jack, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, there's some serious matchups, as you rightly pointed out, Ger. I suppose looking at the defence there, I can't imagine John Fitzgibbon is going to mark Cian Lynch, which would be the natural matchup, centre forward and centre back. John is probably more of a sweeping centre back, as would Declan for the Limerick senior team. I think the two Connollys, David and Ronan, will be assigned Aaron and Cian. But look, I saw Adare against Kildimo at Pallaskenry a couple of weeks back, and they're a really talented side. There's some lovely hurlers inside there. They're good athletes. You see it with their footballers. They've won 3 counties in 4 years. And there's a couple of the Connollys played last week in football, as did Davy Lyons. So, like, if Adare can get their matchups right, they definitely can cause Patrickswell a lot of problems here.
Well, it's the facing off of the Limerick senior hurling captain and, of course, Adare captain, and Diarmuid Burns, the number 6 for Patrickswell, and it was appeared that Hannon won the toss and has opted to get Adare playing with the breeze in that first half, so they're playing straight down into the city end, or as you're looking at it on your screen, from left to right. Eamon Stapleton just giving one run back into his umpires just to check something before we go, but obviously the setup now is going to be much different to the setup in a couple of moments. I would agree with you, Jack. I think the Connollys could be on those duties this afternoon.
Yeah, they could be assigned. Obviously, they won't be from the throw-in, but of course, Patrickswell have to find somebody to mark Willie Griffin as well. let's not forget about that, and the scoring rate that he brings. But I was saying there earlier on that I'm a bit surprised that South Liberty, that Adare found themselves in Section B, because you'll recall in the group stages last year, Ger, they were very, very competitive. They played Patrickswell in the first round, and I think they led for up to 50 minutes, but a late surge from Patrickswell overturned them. They drew with Doon. So it looked as if, they weren't totally lost in Section A, but having gone down to Section B, and that is no disrespect to the teams in Section B, it provided them with a pathway to a quarter-final, which they may not otherwise have, and now is that opportunity to show. It looks early on that John Fitzgibbon is picking up Cian Lynch, but we're only 10 seconds over.
Well, let's wait and see. As Shawnee O'Brien, he's got Mark Connolly for company, and Connolly taking too many steps as the referee. And early intent from Eamon Stapleton. He is not going to let steps manifest itself, and in fairness to John O'Halloran, one mention from the last game, he had a superb game in the middle there, knowing when to let it flow, knowing when to play that advantage, and again, keen all the ways. And we wish Eamon Stapleton the very best of luck here as well, as Diarmuid Burns against the breeze in this first half.
Aaron Gillane is calling for it inside, straight on top of him, he says.
So here it goes, long, down on top of Gillane. It looks like Ronan Connolly is there with him. It's broken in behind them all as John Kirby is snuffing around. That's actually Thomas O'Brien, looking to try and get it back as out they come there in the shape of maybe Jody Hannon over there. And it's Gillane who has it, coming back the field as the ball has gone out for a 65. And, called late there by Eamon Stapleton, but he's called it all the same.
If we learned anything, I suppose, Ger, from the first game, it was why Limerick have won 3 of the last 4 All-Irelands with the standard of play and the excitement that we saw in the first game. And you'd certainly, with some of the star names that are on show, be expecting more of the same here, or even more with the like of that famous Patrickswell trio, which I call it, and of course Declan Hannon, and like both sides are littered with match winners and game changers. So look, this has the prospect of a great game now. Diarmuid Burns, who has been fantastic in this year, he scored 8 points in the first day, the day that they lost against Doon, 6 of them from place balls. He's off the mark already with a long range 65 there.
So it's Patrickswell draw first blood here on the Gaelic grounds as the puck out comes from Brian Curtin off the hand of Jack Kelleher onto Calvin Carroll, back to Burns again. The short passing is an example of both of both games so far. It was the same in the last game in terms of 2-3 short passes as the ball is played to the youngster John Kirby, trying to get away from David Connolly over there, and Connolly does well as John Fitzgibbon retreats. It's out to Wayne Mack, who's going to sit deep here, I can tell you, as we play it off here to Davy Lyons, and it's off now as far as the outrushing. Is it David Connolly? It's Davy Lyons, in fact, who's on it now. It's John McSweeney coming forward, trying to find his inside line, and Mark Connolly. Space being given there by Shawnee O'Brien, and Connolly gets his shot off, but it's going to trail away. So Adare, their first shot.
He rushed that shot actually, Ger, yeah. But having said that, there were a few options.
And well, against the breeze, Brian Murray opts to go short to the sitting Mark Carmody as Tom Nolan decides to put this down to green grass in front of John Kirby, but well anticipated by David Connolly, and it's with Jody Hannon to Wayne Mack, to Declan Hannon, who sat deep, to Mark Carmody, now giving it back to Dermot Burns. Ball just gets inside of him. He's going to have a second tackler coming, but he gets it away in time, and it's Jack Kelleher there looking to just get a ball in hand, but bodies around from Adare, a huge amount of bodies, and it's Jody Hannon who strikes, and Jody Hannon puts it in and over the crossbar, and Jody Hannon is in an advanced position for that one, and he ties up the game after just 3.5 minutes of play.
Yeah, and just after 3.5 minutes, it just seems as though John Fitz is going to sit back there, and that Cian Lynch will wander and someone else has to pick him up.
Yeah, well, it's Josh Considine picking up the break, and it's Cian Lynch being trailed by John McSweeney at the moment into Dermot Burns. He'll fancy a shot. He's got distance, and he has accuracy. That is a super score from Dermot Burns. He's second of the game, and we're only 4 minutes old. That is the kind of potency that man has, even against the breeze. Great score.
Yeah, fantastic score from Dermot. Like he's actually on fire in this competition. As I said, 8 points against Doon, and a couple from play, and there he's after adding to his tally from play there now. Yeah, so if you have a centre back chipping in with that level of contribution, it's absolutely fantastic.
Gives it long, and it's Ronan Connolly there with Aaron Gillan. Gillan is spinning this way and that. He strikes it, but he knew when it went, it was going to go left and wide. So another wide, first wide for Patrickswell. And Burns opting to find Gillan's run that time as opposed to shooting, as Brian Curtin plays it short to John Fitzgibbon. And well, this man will have fair distance as he opts to go high and long, down deep into the Adare full forward line, too deep in fact, wide from John Fitzgibbon. Conceding that puck out seems to be interesting from the well. We'll just see how that shapes up. Nobody near Fitzgibbon there, and Curtin had an easy job to pick him out just inside the edge of the D. Of course, huge experience on the Patrickswell sideline today. John O'Mara, of course, a man who has led his own club, 6 Mile Bridge, to county championships in Clare, and of course coaching Sean Chaplin as the ball comes in, and it's won by Thomas O'Brien from the puck out off to Josh Considine. Space here against the breeze. Good tackle from Davy Lyons as the ball is not quite dead. Ronan Connolly comes, keeps it coming out. That's good. It's David O'Mahony who has it now. O'Mahony in the yellow helmet off to Wayne Mack, the man who lives in Dubai by week, and Limerick and Adare at the weekend, as he gives it down long as far as Mark Connolly. It's out near the sideline. Shawnee O'Brien does well, but Eamon Stapleton says you pushed him in the back, out over the sideline, and it's going to be a chance for Willie Griffin. Difficult chance, Jack, right on the edge of that blue flag there, to try and get this one over the bar from a free.
Yeah, it's a very difficult opportunity, but there's few better free takers than Willie Griffin in the county. Just on Mark Connolly, his movement is excellent, lads. If you ever just watch him against Ballyseen last week in the football, excellent inside in the corner forward. He's always open. He's already got 3 balls inside the open 6 minutes today in the hurling. Like, he's a dream for defenders. He's always seems to be open, and Willie Griffin can bring us level here now.
Well, Willie Griffin, one of the most potent club forwards in this championship for many a year, and he's excited this championship so many times, and like, he's an ace marksman, and that just proves it. What a super score from him right on the sideline.
A free taker couldn't get a more difficult first free, and he really nailed it. Absolutely excellent for his confidence, but I don't know why we should have doubted him, because we've seen him over the years, the way he can do the most difficult. Have we an immediate response?
No. Jack Kelleher with a wide, so puck out broke in behind, and Good alertness from the Patrickswell village native, and it's just gone to the left hand side and wide. Again, remember Patrickswell playing against the breeze. This one is down on top of Mike Keane, but batted out beautifully by Burns. It's Jason Gallan, who is coming into his own half back line, and he's been clipped on the hand by Jody Hannon, and it's going to be a free up, says Eamon Stapleton. No great protestations from the Adare men with that. And of course Gallan, the understudy to both Nicky Quaid and Barry Hennessy in the Limerick Senior Hurling panel. That of course in the goal, playing out the field with his club. But of course when we look at his club goalkeeper, we see Brian Murray, all-star in 2000 in service, giving huge service.
And hasn't lost a bit of appetite for the game.
To Patrickswell and indeed to Limerick for many years.
Absolutely fantastic servant, and what a voice to have behind you there in defence.
As well, Diarmuid Burns, he's got a 65 already. He's got loads of distance here now. It's going high in and long, and well, he does it in Croke Park. He'll do it in the Gaelic grounds. I've seen him do it in Patrickswell as well. That is a super score, and what an arsenal to have when you're in that type of a situation, Matt O'Callaghan.
Absolutely. I just mentioned already about his 8 points against Doon. He was the leading scorer, but he's been in the form of his life for Limerick, but he absolutely has been unplayable. He has been peerless, imperious. You know, call it what you like for Patrickswell. He has been immense, and we saw him in the game against Doon, in which they lost and which they were struggling. He's shone like a beacon. Absolutely, he's absolutely outstanding, leading from the front.
Well, Patrickswell doing really well on puck outs here as they turn it over but don't get possession back. Mike Keane doing well, and it's taken away from John McSweeney. Jack Keller inside to Keane Lynch. Whoa, what a touch from Lynch there, a pick up back to Josh Considine. This would be an excellent score. Jack Neville, you had a bird's eye view of that one. Just class.
Yeah, how do you describe Keane Lynch there? And the thing about Keane is you see that from a mile away. Once the ball is rolling away from him, most players that will go into it and they'll probably get hit. Keane just has the ability to flick it up into himself, sees Josh Considine outside of him, just a super score. But we're running out of words here, Jared, to describe Keane Lynch.
Brendan O'Connor, the puck out target there, but it wasn't to him. It didn't get to him. This is in on top of Aaron Gallan. Good hand from Gallan here now. Free is going to go back because, well, as Mark Carmody came forward, he was fouled by Brendan O'Connor. The long ball came down to Aaron Gallan, and maybe he felt that there was more of an advantage. He was in a better position. John O'Halloran.
Dermot Burns is about to step up, possibly for a fourth point. And what we haven't 11 minutes yet, Ger, but referring back to that little cameo from Keane Lynch, worth the admission money alone.
And Adare just looking, Burns just looking there, can he play short? He does to Jack Kelleher. He goes again, they're in a triangle here if they can play it, but Burns decides to take it into contact, looking to get up. Great touch from Charlie McCarthy there. McCarthy puts loads of pressure on as John Kirby flicks it out over the sideline. And our sympathies to the McCarthy family on the passing of Charlie's grandmother during the week, Mrs. Buckley. And big game for him here today, and a stalwart for Adare as well, down through the years, of course, former Ardscoil Reach pupil, Harty Cup winner in 2014 as the puck out, or the sideline comes down on top of Willie Griffin. Touch is not so good, and Mark Carmody takes it in, but again Jody Hannon wins it back to brother Declan. Declan will get this with the breeze. It's going in, but it's going to the left hand side and wide. Hannon loses a hurley in the process, 3 wides apiece, but Patrickswell ahead by 2 against the breeze, and it's Murray to Josh Considine, really good now, picks him well, but touch just leaves him. Charlie McCarthy trying to get that pressure on, and it's Mark Connolly who is deemed to have fouled, the man in the white helmet, and it's a different kind of a start to the last game. Patrickswell controlling things early on.
Yeah, they're controlling things, and they have a certain level of control, and they're playing into the breeze, and they're leading by 4 points to 2. That could very well become 5 when Dermot Burns is finished with this. And like you'd have to say, even at this early stage, that they are full value for a job.
And well, Burns is shaping up like he wants to have a go at this.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He's going for a pot this time.
Why wouldn't he?
4th point of the day, were he to get it. 3 from play, 3 from freeze.
Score.
And well, there you go. It's now 3 from frees. 3 from frees, 1 from play. So Dermot Barnes, after 11 and a half minutes, puts his team 5-3 ahead, and that's a super score from him. 5-2 now as the puck out comes. Down on top of Charlie McCarthy. It's Brendan O'Connor who wins the break in behind. Coming out the field, it's runners coming from Wayne Mack. Following him is Lynch. Mack is coming inside. It's lost the footing as Mike Keane comes in, but first time hurling from Nigel Foley. Foley to Josh Considine. Keane Lynch making the move ahead. Nice little play into space as the touch doesn't come the second time of asking. Tried a little trick shot there. Ball just got stuck in the ground. Well, got away with it as Mark Carmody moves forward off his left. It's going across the goal and it's gone to the right hand side and wide as we look down. Wide number 4.
Keane Lynch almost shows his human side there, almost.
But not quite, Jack.
Not quite, yeah.
It's Davy Lyons, just possession moving away. Well, that bit slicker at the moment as Keane Lynch comes in. Good territory for Lynch to get a score into the hands of Brian Curtin. And he'll start again as he gives it to John McSweeney, looking ahead to see what he has to aim for. He's going to hit a cross-field ball to Mark Connolly. It goes way beyond him, and Shawnee O'Brien happy to see that go to the right-hand side and wide. Plenty of instructions being shouted back to field. Brian Foley, the manager of Adare, underneath us here, of course, a man who has plenty of experience with this side. I think this is his 3rd year with Adare. So he knows these guys really well. As John Flynn brings the ball out the field. Play on, says the referee. Only Adare bodies around it, and it's Willie Griffin who wins it back, and that would be a super score. Yes, it is. It's one they would have wanted. Willie Griffin.
That's a big score for Adare because Patrickswell seemed to be cruising but hit a couple of wides, and there's only 2 between the sides when Patrickswell are really dominant.
Well, that was 4 in a row for the Well, or 3 in a row for the Well, just before Willie Griffin's last score. Keane Lynch, adjudged to have played the hurley of John Fitzgibbon, and it looks like Fitzgibbon is advancing on him.
Yeah, he saw that puck out from very far away. Now I don't know about the free there, to be honest. I think it was fairly legal by Keane, but look, John Fitzgibbon will take this opportunity and very likely will take the score. He does seem to be pushed up on Keane Lynch a small, but I don't think there's any Patrickswell man you can leave free for an extra man on Keane. So I think Adare probably settled in on man.
And well, they're against the breeze, they're with the breeze, and John Fitzgibbon has struck it, and he struck it wide.
John will be very disappointed with that, I think, because, you know, it all right, it was inside his own 65, but, you know, it was straight in front of the goal, and the breeze is blowing straight down the field. It was close, but he'll be disappointed.
And well, Adare win the puck out. They turn it over in the tackle, and well, Declan Hannon has been fouled, and this is another chance for Willie Griffin. Would put 1 between them, and again, remember, Breeze very much at his back now. See the flag just behind him, if you can, the yellow flag on the sideline. And like, remember about the Gaelic grounds, we're in a bowl, so when that breeze comes in over and comes down, it's fairly significant. Sometimes it just goes over the top of the place here.
Yeah, and we'll probably approach the water break here, Ger, with 15 minutes on the clock. Like, if Adare can go in within the point, like, you'll say job done, because Patrickswell have been dominant, and no mistake from Willie.
Well, there he goes. He's as we said, he's a really good free taker, and that was one of the easier ones of the day.
But Jack is right in the circumstances, but, like, you know, their ambition should be greater because they're playing with a strong breeze, and they should be expecting to have a bit of a foothold in the game by the first water break, because if you don't have it, if Patrickswell lead at the first water break, it's looking ominous for Adare, I think. Like, they have only played in fits and starts so far. The fluency that we were expecting from Adare, we're not seeing it yet. And anything in terms of fluency and magic is coming from Patrickswell, but then they have Keane Lynch.
Well, Aaron Gillan decided to go backwards to his brother Jason for that one. He's hit it in, and it's gone left and wide.
Like,
I'm not sure was that the right decision.
For Aaron Gillan, an inter-county free taker, when he's taking frees in 3 All-Ireland finals, like, you think that's bread and butter for him. I don't know, does Jason give him a call and you don't say no to your brother? But look, 4 points to 5. And I think, on your point, Matt, like Adare would be looking to be further ahead, but with the amount of hurling they've done to be 1 point ahead, they will be happy in that regard.
Probably they will be happy in that regard, Jack, but if you're looking at overall in the scale of the thing, Adare, with that strong breeze, because we're looking at it here from our point here, and it's a very, very fresh breeze, because out here in County Clare, they're cooking up a shower to send into us, shortly, I'll say, possibly before half time, and with that comes a strengthening breeze. But certainly they haven't made it count, apart from an excellent point from play by Willie Griffin, and of course we had a good one from Jody Hannon as well from distance. But they've offered very, very, very little. Brian Murray has been basically redundant, other than poking out after 5 wide balls.
And
now it's 5 wides
apiece. They've played a few long in that have kind of been overcooked for Mark Conley.
They have.
That's definitely 2 or 3.
Would there be anything to do, like both teams seem a little bit off it, is fair to say? Would the 20 minutes extra have made that difference? Because these teams will have been trained to the minute, and that 20 minutes might be kind of a reason for this kind of slow start, because we saw Kilmallock and South Liberties from the word go, they were on it.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. And we have the same narrative about the Bales and Waterford in the All-Ireland semi-final. Bloody match is a match, and when the ball is thrown in, you get on with it.
Well, it's not a significant delay. 20 minutes is not a lot. No. And, most of these teams, they're pretty much ready that these things can happen, and I don't think it makes a huge difference. It just means that you warm up later and you just have a little bit more time in the stadium than you were planning to have. But I don't think that's a huge problem.
A lot of it is. It could be ourselves. Our expectation, and it hasn't lived up to our expectation yet. I say.
Yeah,
yes.
It has the potential to do it. We're looking at it after the game, which exceeded our expectation. So there could be a bit of that in it,
Well, Tom Nolan did really well there from the puck out. He made himself free, got in front of the break, but Eamon Stapleton adjudged that he took too many steps. So with that, it's Willie Griffin who's going to have a great chance of making sure that Adare come back on level terms. So Patrickswell just 1 ahead at the minute now. And you would fancy Griffin from here now, of course. Adare beating Kildimo Palace Kenry the last day out. An intriguing battle, a good game of hurling. Declan Hannon's goal proving crucial midway through that second half. And really giving the Adarman the platform to move on. As Jason Gallan, his ball is broken away from him, and it's Thomas O'Brien who comes onto it. He's showing a clean pair of heels. O'Brien hits it in and hits it over the crossbar. That's a lovely reply for Thomas O'Brien, a man who got the winning goal in the Fitzgibbon Cup final many, many moons ago for UL. Super score from him, rolling back the years, dare I say, as the puck out comes from Adare. It's Keane Lynch that has it off that left. How is he off the left? It's dropping in, but umpire is going to come forward and say no. Wide number 6 for Patrickswell. As we watch Brian Curtin once more, opting to go to the far side to Michael Keane and Charlie McCarthy. It's broken from Keane to McCarthy, wants him to play it in. It's back to Wayne Mack, but the ball hits the floor. It's Mark Carmley trying to wrestle away. He's been impeded as he's moved forward, and it's going to be a free to Patrickswell. And maybe Adare judge just to move that ball in quicker to the inside line. Let Willie Griffin get on 1 or 2 with John Flynn and see how he gets on.
Yeah, absolutely, and we haven't seen it. He hasn't got that type of opportunity yet, because, as you rightly said during the water break, Jar, a couple of balls have been hopelessly overcooked, and he's just not getting the service in there, because, if you have somebody as prolific as Willie Griffin inside in the full forward line, and I'm also a bit surprised that they're not using Brendan O'Connor more as a target man, because he's quite a good target man, a very, very good hurler.
Well, Dermot Burns coming forward now, so hoping to add to his tally. And well, he's gotten 4 already. This would be 5, and unsurprisingly, it goes to the right hand side and wide. So Dermot Burns shows us again, Matt, that he is human.
He is fallible, yeah.
As
The
the
infallibility halo is coming off a couple of them today
Yeah.
so far, but Declan Hannon was well blocked down
super
there.
block by Mark Carmody on Declan Hannon as the ball trails to the end line, and it's won by Nigel Foley to Mark Carmody to Josh Considine. Adare converging. It's to Jack Kelleher off his fingertips and out over the sideline here. Ball is on with David O'Mahony. Looking to get play moving quickly. Remember, Adare are with the breeze. Brian Foley just issuing instructions underneath us here. Very few forwards inside, but one of them is Mark Connolly. Will it go wide? Clever defending from Shawnee O'Brien.
Brilliant defending there by Shawnee O'Brien, because Mark Connolly sensed it straight away, but he showed all his experience there, Shawnee.
Just held him off, held his ground, kept the forward behind him. And it's Brian Murray. Sun in his eyes, breeze in his face. It doesn't faze him. It's down on top of Wayne Mack and Jack Keller. It's broken through, but Cian Lynch is there. Good touch from John Fitzgibbon. It's with Jason Gillan, but Fitzgibbon gets the touch back from David O'Mahony. Back to Davy Lyons. On to Jody Hannon now, brother of Declan. Hannon moving it across to the aforementioned brother with Calvin Carroll. Touched from the Limerick captain. Off as far as the outrushing mark. This looks like Ronan Connolly. It is Ronan Connolly. And it's scored, and that's a super score from Ronan Connolly. We said he was going to pick up Aaron Gillan, but he's actually sat back in behind now in much a sweeper role. Great score from Ronan Connolly.
Absolutely a fantastic score, but what a layoff by Declan Hannon. You know, to appreciate the run of Ronan Connolly on his left shoulder, but Ronan Connolly still had a lot of work to do, and his execution was absolutely excellent.
Puck out comes down long, and it's won on the ground by Cian Lynch, or we thought it was going to be. It's Josh Considine, and it's Wayne McNamara. Helmets loose all over the pitch as the ball is played back to Jody Hannon. What does he do with it? He puts it into Mark Connolly. He's got ahead of Shawnee O'Brien this time. Brendan O'Connor coming, but Nigel Foley is there first, and Foley passes it out as far as John Flynn. Man at his back if he wants him, and he turns Willie Griffin well, and Eamon Stapleton said, well, Willie, you pulled him back in that exchange, and it's going to be Diarmuid Burns to relieve their line from a free puck. 6 points each, Matt. Game hasn't really sprung to life.
It hasn't sprung to life, but we spoke about Liberties giving away silly frees. They are into that now. They've given away a couple of silly frees out of defence, which is inexcusable there. When they had Patrickswell on their back foot there for a while, and to concede a free like that's absolutely needless.
Oh, chance on here. This is Calvin Carroll, shot to Brian Curtin. Good save from the Adare keeper. He's been impeded in there. And that was a good move from Patrickswell. They had a chance, they lost it. Adare got it back, they lost it. And it was Calvin Carroll who came and put it low into the ground. Good save from Brian Curtin, though, held his composure well. And, they're clearing the lines now to Charlie McCarthy. Mike Keane has gone in behind, but held well by Diarmuid Burns as Mark Carmody is coming forward now, right on the whitewash over there. He hits it across the field. Are we playing on? We are, even though there's a well man on the ground. It's Jason Gillan who's lost it to Mark Connolly, and the ball is going to be stopped, and the game is going to be stopped. Jack Kelleher in possession here. Eamon Stapleton racing to see what has happened over there. So obviously got a call from Jonathan Hayes, I would say, and it looks like Charlie McCarthy could very well go into the book here. And I'd imagine this will be an indirect free for Patrickswell.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who the Patrickswell player is down. He's
Mark Carmody.
He's no longer. Oh, Mark, yeah, but he's no longer down. He's thankfully getting back to his feet. He's back on his feet. Yeah, Mark Carmody is okay to continue.
So
Charlie McCarthy is in the book.
Charlie is on a yellow. So
the book work is over. It's an indirect free to Patrickswell.
Yes. So he's bringing it back. And it's going to be Aaron Gillan who's going to have a free. So
He's brought it forward to where the ball landed, I imagine, or?
So yes, so Mark Carmody was fouled, so he's going to give a free from where the ball landed, even though he'd let play continue. Is this it, or is he throwing it in?
He's throwing it in.
Throwing it in, yeah.
And the only thing for Patrickswell is Jack Kelleher was free with an ocean of space there. He had the sliotar in hand when the free was called. So if it isn't a free for, it is a free for Aaron, yeah.
So Aaron Gillan going to put Patrickswell back in front. If he was to nail this, 25 minutes gone nearly here, 24 and a half. And the crowd has yet to be wowed as we play A white ball from Aaron
Maybe
Gallan.
that's why Jason called him a while ago. He might have seen something in training, but
That is
Aaron's a fantastic free taker. He'll recover from that. But look, it's a big chance missed by Patrickswell.
And John Fitzgibbon takes the puck out on the 21 and launching defence into attack. A probing ball forward to Marco Connolly, but being well marshalled back there by Sean O'Brien. He's got Diarmuid Burns to play quick if he wants, but it's cool and calm. It's a draw game.
It's a poor game.
Yes.
It's lacking any level of intensity. It's kind of two teams going through the motions at the moment. But I suggest, Judd, that it suits Patrickswell much more than Adare, because they're playing into the stiff breeze, and you know, if they can wind down the clock and they're on level terms, and if they can go in within a point or two, they'll be quite happy. Like Adare need to step on the gas now and get something before half time, if you know, to come out in the second half and really put it down to Patrickswell, or maybe they have something in the locker that we don't know about.
Well, sideline was taken fast and it went out over the sideline again. Touch off of Mike Keane there, and it's going to be Patrickswell relieving their lines from their half-back line position. And it's Thomas Nolan who's cutting this across the field. Really good ball. As far as Kevin O'Brien, well blocked there by Davy Lyons, and Jody Hannon sitting in that sweeper position. He's putting it across the field to Brendan O'Connor to come onto. It bounces in front of him, but the touch in the side means it could go anywhere, and it's Nigel Foley who wins it. And Foley, he's been in possession good. This is a dangerous ball to Brian Murray, and Mark Connolly was anticipating, but Murray showed all his experience there. Give it out to Shawnee O'Brien, as we now have Patrickswell attacking on the far side of the field, and it's with the cornerback David Connolly out as far as Wayne McNamara. Breeze at his back. He'll have distance. Will he have accuracy? And the umpires are undecided there now. We could have a situation where the linesman could be called into play here. So in games that are tight, sun in the eyes of the umpire down there, it's quite difficult. And well, Eamon Stapleton has microphones from his two sideline officials, and Jonathan Hayes appears to have made that call on the far side. So it's going to be a point, and the point comes to Adare. Our first score in 6 minutes of play, Wayne McNamara.
And I suppose it's fair to say, Jar, that of everybody in the ground, the one man that hadn't a doubt about it was Wayne McNamara.
Yes.
Right from the start.
And well, what a stalwart he has been, and to both Adare and indeed to his club, or to his county, winning a Munster medal with Limerick here on this very field in 2013. What a day that was. Limerick defeating Cork in a Munster final to end a barren period. And well, the period we're in now is rich, to say the least.
John Fitzgibbon would be hoping with this one to atone for the one that he missed a while ago. It's pretty well in front of the goal, and I don't think there's any doubt whatsoever about that one.
The umpire will go straight for it, as we see Adare stretch to it to 2 points, and that breeze is significant, and it's well, it's with the Adare men, the West Limerick men, as the puck out comes into the middle now, and it's off by Adare. Declan Hannon sitting deep, long ball. Well, this is a measured ball in top of Mark Connolly. It breaks in behind, and Brian Murray quick to react, blocked by Connolly. Brendan O'Connor sniffing around. Now there's danger here. He touched it on the ground. Did he touch it on the ground?
Was there a chap in there?
We're waiting the signal from Eamon Stapleton. What is he hasn't made any signal as of yet.
Yeah, I think he's seen an infringement and he's giving a free into Adare, I think.
Yes.
That's what it appears to me, Jar.
I felt he touched it on the ground, maybe. We'll just wait and see. Okay, you're 2 up. You're against the breeze. Or sorry, you're with the breeze. You know it's significant. The sun is in the eyes of the opposition here.
Yeah.
Do you go for it?
And you're Willie Griffin as well.
Do you go for it? Are you brave enough to stand and actually go for it?
Yeah, or do you make it a 3-point game?
Well, by shaping up, I think it's going to go over.
Yep.
And that's exactly what he does. And well, Willie Griffin, nearly on half time, pushes it out. Just for a moment there, we thought that he might have, but now he decides not to. So 29-30, and we're winding down as Brian Murray, not for the first time this afternoon, he cuts this one out and into the Adare half back line, but it's won well by David O'Mahony, and it's up to Charlie McCarthy. It's still in play, it's out now, and Josh Considine are deemed not to have been the last person. It was Charlie McCarthy the last person to touch it. So
John O'Halloran couldn't have been nearer. No, we couldn't have been nearer for that matter, and I think he got it spot on.
Right above our position here as Jack Kelleher cuts it in, and this looks like Thomas O'Brien. He's been really lively, causing all sorts of problems for Jody Hannon. That would be an excellent score, but it's going to go across. It's gone across and it's gone wide. Patrickswell's 9th wide.
Yeah, I think Adare with 3 points, they'll be happy, but not very happy. I suggest if they carry that in at half time, maybe they might add to it here now. Willie Griffin is.
Well, it's John Flynn that's coming out, gets ahead of his man, and does really well. And it's the Patrickswell defence has stood firm, but we haven't seen much in attack. This man has been quiet, but he's also very lethal. It's Cian Lynch cross to Jack Kelleher. Ball is just measured, not as well as it should be. John McSweeney, Charlie McCarthy off his shoulder. He gives it to McCarthy, touches it forward into space. He's narrowing his angle as the hurley gets caught in the ground. It comes off the foot of Josh Considine. Correct decision from John O'Halloran, going to be a sideline to Adare. And Brendan O'Connor, is he going to let Willie Griffin come across and take it? No, Brendan will have a cut at this himself, and don't be surprised if this finds the range. He's confident enough. I've seen him in a league game earlier on this year, cutting them over well. Less pressure in that game than there was in this, though, I might add.
Less rain probably back then as well.
Yes, as it goes along the ground, and he was shaping up for it most definitely. And that's wide number 7 for Adare. As we're in additional time, 31, nearly 32 minutes played. Eamon Stapleton looking for the slitter for half time, as Brian Murray just goes to puck it out, whistle to his mouth, and that's it. That's the end of the opening half. Patrickswell coming in as raging hot favourites to this game. Dare I say, we haven't seen them get out of second gear as of yet, gentlemen.
No, like Patrickswell haven't been at the races, but I think both defences are on top, and Adare have just taken their scores probably that bit better than Patrickswell. I don't know, have you a wide count there? Is it 9 wides for Patrickswell?
9-7.
9-7, like, and that's in a 3-point game. Like, I think the defences have been very good on both sides. I think Adare have been excellent on Cian Lynch. There isn't a man marker on him. If Cian Lynch goes into your area, you pick him, and it shows great confidence from the management team in the Adare defence. John Fitzgibbon is leading it back there. You can hear it up here in the gantry. You can hear John roaring and shouting at his men. They're very organised there, Adare. I don't think Adare have his top gear either. Now, they've probably been that bit better than Adare, but than Patrickswell. But look, a 3-point game, we said before in the first game. Is it a 3-point win? It's probably more than 3 points, Matt.
Yeah, I would agree, Jack, that it is more. As I said, we thought there for a while it was cooking up a shower when it tends to strengthen, but that seems to have abated temporarily anyway. But nevertheless, it's a strong breeze. Now, look, I'd say with 6 or 7 minutes to go to half time, Jack, Adare would have taken the hand off you for a 3-point lead, because it was shaping up, for the first 20 or 25 minutes that Patrickswell, even despite playing into the strong breeze, could conceivably go down for the half-time huddle in front. But Adare finished the half strongly, and it's going to be a question now of how are they going to adjust to playing against the wind. Like you spoke about how South Liberties pretty satisfactorily adjusted in the second half, and adjusted to such a degree and in such a manner that it took them to within a threshold of what would have been a famous victory and what would have been a surprise had they been 2 points up with as many minutes left, and had they the ability at that stage to close it out. I have no doubt they'd be looking forward to a semi-final next weekend, but it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same for Adare now. How are they going to adjust to playing into the breeze? Because it's a sizable breeze. We see what Dermot Burns has done in the first half. Like, if you give him a free from any place within 100 metres, he's going to pot it. It's not unknown for him to be, even though he's playing centre back, to be Patrickswell's leading scorer. He was their leading scorer against Doon with 8 points.
Yeah, it's probably a bit worrying for Patrickswell that of their 6 points, 4 of them have come from the centre back. It's for Dara Burns, it's probably sustainable, but for most centre backs, it's not.
I was my next point to you both. Only one forward, Thomas O'Brien, has scored in the opening half.
And to be fair to Thomas, he's got on a lot of ball as well. He has definitely been the standout forward for Patrickswell. But when the likes of Aaron Gillan is at a level that he could be quiet for 59 minutes, sure, but it's that one ball he wins inside there and it turns for a goal, or even two balls he gets, you could have 2 goals. Now Adare have done very well, but like Aaron Gillan is a fella you can't give any time to, you can't give him any ball, and it comes from Adare's forward line, because if Patrickswell's back can get time, get their head up to see Aaron Gillan, he'll win any ball, as he showed for Limerick against Cork. So it comes from the whole Adare team. First of all, you stop the ball coming to Aaron, and if it does come his way, you do everything to stop him getting in his hand.
And I think you cannot take you cannot write off Aaron Gillan and say you have a job done on Aaron Gillan until he's in his car going out of the ground nearly. You know,
Until he's home.
He has that ability in a split second to change the thing. And like, you know, you look at the Patrickswell forwards, Ger, and you're saying, right, only one score has come from the forward line, from Thomas O'Brien. Like, and it's a forward line that contains Cian Lynch, even though he was responsible for an excellent point by Josh Considine. It was a sublime bit of play on the part of Cian Lynch, the one he flicked up and over to Josh Considine and Gillan. Like, but it's a huge task, and it's a huge ask of Adare to repeat that for the next 30 minutes.
Yes.
It's going to be crucial, and there will decide the game how they control and limit the influence and the impact of Cian Lynch when he get into the game, because as sure as Patrickswell go behind now, he's going to go rambling all over the place and influencing the game all over the place. You know, I think Cian Lynch, we see him at his best, which is a fantastic sign of a guy. When his team need him and when they're struggling. And if they're struggling, I think we'll see Cian Lynch at his best. And the same goes for Aaron Gillan. Like, you know, 30 minutes of a Limerick Championship match, Aaron Gillan hasn't scored. You know, for all opposition, that's a thing of beauty.
Yes,
it's a rarity.
And on saying that, are we saying that Brian Foley and co are happy with how they played in the first half? Are we saying they're mixed? They're 3 points ahead. To be fair, the big guns for Patrickswell haven't shone, and they've done fine. They're facing into a strong breeze now in this second half. But are they happy with that first half?
I think they've reason to be happy with it, because if you look at the front load in the Adare full forward line, Jack spoke about Mark Connolly. We know what Brendan O'Connor brings, and we know certainly what Willie Griffin brings. But like, we have seen very competent performances by Sean O'Brien and John Flynn in the corners.
Yes.
And Nigel Foley has been very, very solid at full back. So I think Patrickswell will be happy, because like, there were question marks coming into this championship and in the early rounds about the possibility and the potential to exploit the Patrickswell full back line. Now it certainly hasn't happened here, and like there was a question of the day that they played Doon in particular, because Doon had a very, very strong full forward line, and 2 of them were held scoreless. So you're looking at an underrated full back line. I think Sean O'Brien showed all his experience. I think John Flynn is having a very, very good game at cornerback, and
excellent.
I think that Nigel Foley, like, he's not solid.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And I suppose a characteristic is that Foley has kind of manned that fullback jersey for a number of years for Patrickswell. And won a county, of course, there in 2019, and has been a real hallmark, of course, since James Mann, who present selector, was the man who filled the jersey before him. And Foley has taken over that mantle really well.
He has, but there have been a number of managers in there as well, and a number of management teams, and they seem to be happy with him. So, you know, they can't all get it wrong. You know?
We haven't, you know, Declan Hannon gave one sublime pass there for a point earlier on, but he has been quiet in the relative sense of Declan Hannon. But as we know, I suppose, from the last day against Kildimo Pallaskenry, he just needs a number of possessions. Like, he would have been quiet if you were looking at the game, but he still finished up with 1-3.
He did, yeah, and that invariably is what happened. But, you know, he's in exalted company today, being quiet, because, you know, we've said that about Aaron Gillan and Cian Lynch being relatively quiet by their standards. But like, this game is to explode, it's players like that will help it to do so. They will ignite it. They will light the spark. And look, we have been very, very disappointed. I've been disappointed with the first half and what we've seen in the first half. And I would say to you, the second half can only be better. And let's hope that we'll get what we were expecting, what we've been expecting coming into the game since the quarter-final pairings were known.
Well, this is an unusual situation. We have two teams ready to go and have been ready for about just under a minute, and we have no match officials. So obviously the kettle wasn't boiled at half time, and there's been a bit of delay underneath us. Well, they come back now.
Here they come now.
And I know I say that with tongue in cheek. Eamon Stapleton will
half-time biscuits must be nice, Ger.
He'll like the ribbing for that. I can tell you that he's just waiting for his two sideline officials to come with him. That, of course,
he's probably preparing for a more frantic second half, like all of us, Ger. So hopefully we get what Eamon is expecting.
No substitutions. Just gets the word from Sean Scanlon, the Adare sideline official here, and of course, Aidan Foley is the secretary from Patrickswell. Club official on duty this afternoon, as we're just about to set sail for the second half. And in 30 minutes time, one of these teams, well, their campaign for this year will be over, and one will be into the pot for next weekend for the county semi-finals. Na Piarsaigh can do it away and do Kilmallock, as the Eamon Stapleton throws this ball in, and we're away for the start of this second half. And it's a jostle for possession in the middle of the field at the moment, as Jack Kelleher, soccer style, kicks it forward, and it's Michael Keane who's gone back there, the youngster on this Adare panel. He's aware that he might be hooked, and he's taking it away, spooning it forward in front of him. Dermot Burns coming across, but Keane adds to it football style into the corner. Remember, Adare, county senior football champions, as Shawnee O'Brien takes this one out. A good shoulder there on Jason Gillan, and it's Keane who started the move, who has it. He puts it across the square. This is Brendan O'Connor territory. Nigel Foley scrambling, but doing really well. And, well, Foley shows all his experience there, as Brendan O'Connor, he's just got his body in the way of O'Connor, and he's been fouled, but he's resulting free, taken quickly, hasn't gone to where it should have meant to, and it's off to Davy Lyons, racing through the middle. Lyons the chance to put a 4 in it. Shot is poor. There's a man inside. Mark Hanley alone. Great save by Brian Murray. What a save by the veteran goalkeeper, as he came out and smothered the shot from Mark Hanley, and that could have been a huge moment in this game. The Patrickswell defence marked absent there as Adare, working tigerishly, and it looks like they've won it back. They haven't won it back. They have, but illegally so, says Eamon Stapleton. My God, that could have been a 6-point game.
It could have been a 6-point game, and certainly all the energy in the early 2 minutes of the second half has been from Adare. Like they have flew out of the traps. Brian Foley must have had a serious talk with him at half time, because certainly they already have shown far greater ambition than they have shown in the first half. So, but he could all settle very much here now, because Dermot Burns is taking a free, which we pointed out with the breeze is certainly within his compass.
Well, Brian Murray showed a quick turn of foot to get off the goal there, as the free comes and it goes across the goal and goes right. So wide number 10, John O'Mara urging his side to get going, as Brian Curtin hitting it into the middle, but Cian Lynch, oh beautiful, takes it down, keeps it on the hurley. He'll fancy this, does Lynch, in and over the crossbar. That's a super score. Took the puck out down, kept the ball in his hurley like a wand. It stuck to it like a magnet as it came down, and well, Cian Lynch, touch of class there from the Patrickswell number 11.
One word, Jar magic.
Wizardry.
And well, it's a 2-point game, a 2-point game now, I should say. 9-7 in the Gaelic grounds. Not a classic, but neither of these teams will want it to be. They'll just want a result, as the sideline. There's lots happening in the sideline there, as Patrickswell look like they're going to win this sideline cut. Jonathan Hayes explaining. Crowd getting into the game as well here now, and it's Thomas Nolan, I think, that might be receiving a little bit of attention. And as we said, the game has yet to spark to life here, and it's Dermot Burns coming over to take the sideline. Nolan receiving attention there.
If you're looking for a spark there, I think Keane Lynch provided it. No right probably to pull that ball out of the sky. Brian Curtin had a very accurate ball. I think it was going to Declan Hannon, but Keane Lynch showed why he was hurled of the year 3 years ago and will probably be crowned hurler of the year later this year. Excellent piece of skill. To take the ball in was one thing. To get away from the Dare man, to pop it over from the sideline at his ease, magical.
Player on form, and that is for sure, as we await Thomas Nolan's sideline cut. And it's a good one. Going to find John Fitzgibbon or get very near to him, it doesn't. And it's Jody Hannon taking it away from the clutches of Aaron Gillan. Now kicks it out to Keane Lynch, and there's two in a matter of moments from the Patrickswell centre forward and the Jack Neville tipped Player of the Year for 2021. And 1 point game as Brian Curtin opts to go far side. Mike Keane underneath it, broken through him to Declan Hannon, off to Willie Griffin, now operating out the field. Griffin shoots, goes across the goals, but it goes wide. Wide number 8 for Adare. Brian Murray wants to get going quickly. That goal is down there is quite muddy under his feet, as well, he's got so much experience as this man, as he plays it long down on top of Keane. With him is David O'Mahony, and O'Mahony fouls him, hands in around him, he says, Eamon Stapleton. And well, just bits and pieces happening here from both teams, as Wayne McNamara giving the ball back to Aaron Gillan there, but not in the most sporting fashion, says Eamon Stapleton.
And this free is well within Aaron's range. And you go back 3 or 4 minutes ago, and Mark Connolly had that chance to make it a 6-point game. Brian Murray shows all his experience, a brilliant save out on top from the smother straight away. And now Patrickswell more than likely will be level, and that's how games can change.
But you go back 5 minutes ago, and we said that, you know, if your team was struggling, and in the early 2-3 minutes of the half, Adare seemed to be struggling. The one man that you look to is Keane Lynch. He's got 2 points. He's won a free. It's a level game.
Well, Aaron Gillan makes it 3 without reply for Patrickswell as we tie the game up here. As he ties the game up here. So, Kevin O'Brien coming off the bench here now. Big substitution to have brought on, and he comes on in place of John Kirby. So Kevin O'Brien in now. Remember, he was sent off here before the game started against Doon in round 1. And, of course, missed the last game. And John Kirby getting the nod there, and obviously getting a few words of encouragement from his manager as he comes off. As the ball goes out over the sideline at the far side, John O'Halloran telling us it's going to be a sideline ball to Patrickswell.
And Ger, while all this is happening, Keane Lynch is on his own in acres of space. So much for picking him up.
Looks like Wayne McNamara is being detailed at the moment as Josh Considine cuts it, but only as far as John McSweeney. And McSweeney playing it there, narrow down to Brendan O'Connor. He does well. It's very much on the sideline there as the ball is pulled out of play, and it's stepped out of play by Nigel Foley. It's going to be a sideline cut to Brendan O'Connor. And again, back to what I said in the first half, this guy can cut him. What will he hope to do here now? He's against the breeze. 40 yards out at the angle, sun in his eyes.
It would be a major fill-up were he to get it for Adare.
He'll chance it. He'll have the confidence. Could Adare be making a sub underneath us? Not as good, but Willie Griffin is onto it now. He slips between 2 defenders, strikes it in and over the crossbar. And that's a good answer from Willie Griffin. 37 minutes gone here. And Willie Griffin just showed experience there. Good step in between 2 defenders and in and over the crossbar. It's down to Aaron Gillan, and this is it. One of the first times he's had this run today. Pops it off as far as Kevin O'Brien, and he's been pulled back. Good advantage from Eamon Stapleton. And was the first time that Aaron had turned and moved towards the goal, and he was dragged back. He was trying to get Kevin O'Brien in with him. Could have been a goal chance there, but it's going to be a chance for Gillan to tie the game up. Jack, you weren't so sure about that?
Yeah, I think it was soft enough now. Obviously, Eamon is far more qualified to be making calls like that than me, but I think in the first half of the game probably flowed a bit more. This one has probably been stop-start. It's probably not due to the ref now. It's probably more to the game we're having. But look, it's a chance for Patrickswell to level, and Aaron will certainly be happy to take it. But a great interception by Dave Connolly, because in fairness to him, and he let play go on, and it could have been a goal were not for the interception from Dave Connolly. But Aaron Gillane makes no mistake, and we're level again.
10 each here in the Gaelic grounds. As Brian Curtin looks up the field to see what's happening in front of him, and it's David O'Mahony who gets it to the ground. Well read by Jody Hannon. Hannon coming in, trying to draw a man into him as Willie Griffin comes to take the ball off his shoulder. Good pass out as far as Brendan O'Connor, but ball has gotten away. Man behind is Mark Connolly. If he wants to use him, he decides to use him, and Eamon Stapleton says there was a free there. Soft, Matt?
A bit soft, yeah. I thought if anything, he possibly Brendan O'Connor overcooked it. It could have gone the other way. I don't know, but I think Willie Griffin will be glad to get this opportunity to put Adare, even though it's not a gimme by any manner or means. He's going into the wind. It's out on the far side of the field, about 10 metres in from the sideline. It's between the 65 and 45, but I suppose to Willie Griffin.
Yeah, and on Willie Griffin, he seems to have come out the field a bit more. Charlie McCarthy seems to have gone in and joined Mark Connolly in the full forward line, and Willie's getting on that ball a bit more, and that's what Adare wanted with players like him on the ball.
They did it the last day. They brought him to half forward, and it definitely worked for a while. And when it's not going in, you need to get him on possession and in possession, as he puts his team back ahead by 1. 39, nearly 40 minutes gone as the puck comes down on top of Jason Gillane, broken away from him, and it's David O'Mahony who wins it low to Charlie McCarthy. Good touch in front of Nigel Foley, ships the challenge from Tom Nolan, but a good block by Jason Gillane as John Flynn coming out. Gillane is here with him now, looks to just drive it high and long and probing down and down. Hasn't got all the distance it has, but it doesn't have all the accuracy. And it's wide number 11 for Patrickswell. Puck out gone quickly to John McSweeney. Racing out is Kevin O'Brien, but it's Ronan Connolly who's coming in, and fouled by Cian Lynch. And going back to what Jack said just a couple of moments ago, it is that stop-start nature. John Fitzgibbon is here, and well, it's strong enough. Will he fancy a go at it? He's stolen a few yards. Linesman not as aware. He's stolen another yard or two, but that's fine.
I'd say he'll go for it anyway, because we saw like the beauty of having a man on the square when Mark Connolly had that chance from Davy Lyons miss it. So Adare could be hoping for the same.
And Fitzgibbon is most definitely going for it. It's long and high, but the umpire is stepping out, and it's wide number 9.
Like, it's 20 wides, Jar, between the two sides. It gives you an idea of the type of game. On now we have Cian Lynch.
Well, that's as simple a score as you're going to get. And the beautifully weighted ball from Brian Murray arrowed down to Cian Lynch. Took a touch and was able to plant his foot and get a second touch. Super score from Cian Lynch, and we're back in level game as the ball has gone across to Brendan O'Connor. And it's the well coming forward now, looking for something from it. Thomas O'Brien has it, opts to shoot. Again, it's high. Will it drop inside the post? No, it won't. So 11 each now in the Gaelic grounds. Cian Lynch with the latest score.
We've Patrick Kirby about to come into the game.
As Brian Curtin opts to put it high, and it's Michael Keane trying to break it, and it's broken by Jason Gillane off to Calvin Carroll. 2 tackles from Adare there, and Eamon Stapleton saying he threw the ball, and just a little bit of momentum coming back to Adare in that situation. Could have been overcooked, as in there could have been too much contact and it could have been a free to the well, but Eamon Stapleton saying no, throw ball. Good sub to have in Patrick Kirby, albeit he'll go to the full line. Not a lot of ball has gone in there, lads.
No, it isn't. But just on that free there, Wayne Mack went for the kill, probably missed him, and then Michael Keane comes in, and it's kind of that fine line between aggression and too much aggression. But Adare will take advantage of this. Probably deserved the free, but as you said about Patrick Kirby, he'll want ball to come into him, or else he's coming on for no reason.
John Fitzgibbon there. No doubt about that one. He nailed it right from the start. And now we have Patrick Kirby coming in. It'll be interesting to see who is going off at this stage.
Well, Whereabouts will he go? It's Jack Kelleher they're pulling out. So Jack Kelleher goes, and Patrick Kirby comes on. So it's 43 minutes gone here. And it's John Fitzgibbon who has Adare in the lead against the breeze. David O'Mahony gets that ball up away from the clutches of Calvin Carroll as Dermot Byrne sweeps across his half-back line. Hand passing into Tom Nolan. Doesn't look, just says, let's have it up there. It's Tom O'Brien looking to try and get onto it. He's got David Connolly for company, but O'Brien does well, trying to make a better angle, putting the ball across, sees brother Thomas in possession, in empty space, and strikes it in, and he strikes it over the crossbar, and Tom O'Brien took up a brilliant position there. And we're at 12 each.
But full credit as well, Jar, to Kevin O'Brien to spot Thomas in the position he was in, and to lay off what was a perfect pass.
This is a perfect ball down to an inside forward as well, but it's a bit far from the goal. Charlie McCarthy back to David O'Mahony. O'Mahony looking for a runner, cuts inside Dermot Burns, tries to get to Willie Griffin, but he comes back over the shoulder off the right side. It goes over the bar, and we're beginning to see a little bit more of a free flow in this game. And David O'Mahony swings the lead back into Adare's advantage again. 44, nearly 45 minutes gone here.
It's building nicely here.
And that it is. It's long from Brian Murray, trying to find Jorius marksman, which is Cian Lynch, but it's batted away by Wayne McNamara to Brendan O'Connor. He's come deep, striking it long. Mark Connolly favoured with the gears here of Shawnee O'Brien. He's stolen a yard. He gets his shot away on the turn. Murray taps the crossbar, and Adare lead by 2. And that's the kind of ball that we were talking about at half time that needs to go in to both sides. A gap of 2 now against the breeze, as we see Shane O'Connor might well come into the game within the next couple of minutes, as Jody Hannon gives it back to Brian Curtin, gives it assuredly out to Wayne McNamara, off to John McSweeney, over to Brendan O'Connor. Adare beginning to hurl in the last few minutes now as the ball is played into Charlie McCarthy. Good position, he's ahead of Nigel Foley. He needs someone with him, he's looking for a runner. He does well, does Charlie McCarthy. That's a 3-point advantage. And well, Adare are showing that they are well and truly here. That is a super score from Charlie McCarthy, one of the scores of the game, Matt O'Callaghan.
Yeah, one of the scores of the game, and of course we're coming up to the water break, and I'd say if I were in an Adare jersey or an Adare backroom team, I would be hoping that it wouldn't come for a while yet, but it looks as if Mike Keane has departed the scene here in front of us, to be replaced by Shane O'Connor. Patrickswell obviously will want the water break to regroup. But
3 in a row for Patrick, 3 in a row for Adare, I should say, as Shane O'Connor comes on. As Dermot Burns, the captain of this side, looking to try and get his team in front now. Hand passes it off as far as Cian Lynch. Is there something coming through? Davy Lyons comes out confidently and holds up Tom O'Brien. Back to Jason Gillan. He's been quiet. Is this a chance to score? It is. It's in and over the crossbar from Gillan, right on the water break. A 2-point game here. It's neatly poised. It's the underdogs who are ahead. It's Adare getting a rousing cheer as they head back to Brian Foley and company for 1 minute of water and 1 minute of information, I put sure, and advice. Just quickly, Jack, for or against the water break?
Yeah, I definitely prefer the water break. As a player, it gives you a chance just to regroup, get a bit of water on board, keep your messages, because games are so tactical these days, and for a spectator's point of view, it definitely gives you a chance just to sit back and relax for a small bit. I know we needed it probably more so in the first game, but yeah, I'd definitely be in favour of the water break, definitely.
A fine quarter from Adare. Those 3 scores on the bounce: David O'Mahony, Mark Connolly and Charlie McCarthy, coming all within 3 minutes of each other there, putting them 15-12 ahead, and that important one for Jason Gillan, Matt O'Callaghan, to bring it back to a 2-point game. There's nothing in this.
There's nothing in it, and I don't think you can overstate the importance of Jason Gillan's point there. Had the halftime had the water break been blown, with Adare on a run of 3 points, it would be a bigger challenge for Patrickswell. But you know, we were in a similar situation 12 months ago in this very fixture when the Dare looked to be there or thereabouts, causing an upset. And I'm just wondering, are we going to see a final flurry from Patrickswell, or have they it in them? That is the big question now, because I think looking at the Adare team of this year, it has certainly improved from the Adare team of last year. And the big question now is, and they have adjusted well to playing against the breeze, can they hold out? There's a huge, it's a massive 14 minutes plus injury to come for Adare hurling.
And the breeze is very much with Patrickswell. Remember, as we said in the first game, the quartet of clubs have dominated the last four of the county championship. Doon, Na Piarsaigh, Kilmallock and Patrickswell are Adare about to muscle their way in. Well, as Matt O'Callaghan said, they've 14 minutes to do so. That puck out goes all the way cleanly out over the sideline, and it's going to be a sideline cut to Patrickswell, who are on the attack. It's looks like Patrick Kirby. It is Patrick Kirby. He's cut his pour, and it's Wayne Mack who seems to have cut it out. Good hook from Cian Lynch from behind, and it's Josh Considine who has it. Back to Diarmuid Burns. Burns across the field here, trying to get Kevin O'Brien onto it, but young Connolly does well there. That's David Connolly to David O'Mahony. Jody Hannon off the shoulder. O'Mahony, the ground is opening up in front of him. He's beaten Tom Nolan. Is there something here for him in terms of a free? No. Ball is on the ground. It's with Mark Carmody. There's more bodies in there now as Carmody tries to get it away. Calvin Carroll looking to relieve the lines here, and it's back with Adare, and it's back with Declan Hannon, and that's a super score from Declan Hannon. And a ball that looked to have been in the clutches of the Patrickswell defence ends up in the hands of Hannon, and he pops up with a super score. 3 back in it again. 12 minutes to go on the Gaelic grounds as Josh Considine takes the puck out quickly from Brian Murray. He's racing forward. Again, it's a block in midfield and a turnover. This can't seem to get through this wall of Adare defenders. Davy Lyons trying to get Mark Connolly on it, but Tom Nolan is favoured to get there. Free, says the referee. No, says play on. Charlie McCarthy wins it, and we're 4 in it. Charlie McCarthy turns to the crowd with a pumped fist, and the Patrickswell are 4 behind as Charlie McCarthy gets it. The puck out has been turned over in the full back line for the Well. It's Charlie McCarthy who's there again. Burns takes it up off the ground. Legally so, says the referee, as Patrickswell look to play out. It's with Cian Lynch now. Good tackle here. Everything has been cheered by Adare, but it's Mark Carmody who's going forward. The Well have bodies over here. It's with Patrick Kirby. Touches just off. He's facing John McSweeney as the ball goes in and over the crossbar. Relief for Patrickswell as Patrick Kirby brings this back together. 17-14, and it's Adare leading. And well, Matt O'Callaghan, what a passage of play we had there, and Adare turning the screw is the best way I could put it.
Absolutely turning the screw there and getting some excellent points. And Charlie McCarthy, he's been in the thick of things right from the start today, and he's got a couple of those points. Meanwhile, Patrickswell are making a substitution there, and it looks to me as if this Calvin Carroll's evening is over, and it's Cian Fitzgerald has come on for Calvin Carroll.
So Cian Fitz for Calvin Carroll as the Well make a change around the middle, and it's back with John Fitzgibbon, back to Ronan Connolly. Well, he has been sterling this afternoon. He hasn't had a huge amount to do. He hits it across the field to John McSweeney. He's been good. Blocked by Josh Considine it is, and it's going to be a sideline cut to Adare. No massive hurry now as we enter the closing 10 minutes in the Gaelic grounds. The county quarter final. It's Adare leading 17-14, and you'd have to say a full value for it at the minute as John McSweeney looks to relieve this out of his half back line. He only finds the hand of Mark Carmody as Aaron Gallan is 1-on-1 inside. Gallan, can he get it in the hand? The ball is broken away from him, and it's well won by Ronan Connolly, and it's to Declan Hannon trying to find Charlie McCarthy. He does, away from Tom Nolan. McCarthy going on a tour of the Gaelic grounds. Shane O'Connor got a point the last day. Back to Brendan O'Connor, no relation, and the ball has gone out over the sideline as the block came from Josh Considine.
Super defending there by Ronan Connolly. 1-on-1 against Aaron Gallan. You would back Gallan all day, especially with the high ball, but Ronan doesn't just win the ball, he comes out and sets an attack for there.
Well, Ronaldo was left on the field of play for Man United during the week, Matt O'Callaghan, in the 92nd minute or the 93rd minute he kicked one against Villarreal to win it. Are we looking at something similar here? Do we need a moment of magic from a big player to turn this back in the favour of Patrickswell, or is it going to be Adare's day?
It could be Adare's day, but you know, you'll always have the suspicion that the moment of magic will come, and certainly the big players are there that can produce the moment of magic. But the big question is, Adare are playing very, very, very competently. Brendan O'Connor, this is one of his better flying balls.
And it's gone left and wide. And I'm sure Matt O'Callaghan was watching that Man United Villarreal match as well, quite close, ahead of the fixture on Saturday against Everton. We'll talk no more about that. Back to the Gaelic grounds. It's long down to Aaron Gillan, but it's away from him. Adare have smothered him really well this afternoon as Ronan Connolly advances to find Willie Griffin, but Josh Considine reads it well, and he's fouled as he comes forward, and a chance for Burns to close it back to 3. Distance, no bother. Breeze at his back. Accuracy is what he's got to get right.
Actually, to close it back to 2, John.
2, yes.
To be delicately poised with what? 7.5 minutes, roughly? Slightly over 7.5 minutes left of regulation time, and whatever Eamon Stapleton will choose to let on, you'd back Dermot Burns on this one.
Got him in the first half. He strikes it. The Adare rear guard, they know it's gone over from Dermot Burns. And he's only missed a 1 this afternoon, brings Patrickswell's tally to 15 for the day. It's Brian Curtin putting it down this near side, looking to find Declan Hannon or Wayne Mack. What 2 men to be aiming at if you're a goalkeeper? And it's Willie Griffin who's there as well, but Declan wins it, tries to get it away from his county teammate Cian Lynch, but the battle is on. The battle royal is here in the Gaelic grounds, and it's Hannon who wins it back, clips it across the field beautifully. A county medal winner in 2009 with Adare, got 3 points that afternoon as they beat the Piershik to win it 3 in a row, 2007, 2008 and 2009, and interestingly it's their last county championship. And Hannon gave a massive performance in the Munster Club that year as well. I remember him talking on RT Radio 1 Sport at 8:10 one Monday morning after a super game above in Páirc Uí Chaoimh against the Cork champions, and he was in school. You remember that, Matt?
I do. When doesn't he have a super game?
As this man Dermot Burns looks to bring us 1 closer. The shot is good. It's gone to the right though, and it's gone wide. Wide number 12.
Dermot will be disappointed with that now, I think. You know,
It's a very hard chance to take, but it's one Dermot definitely has in the locker.
Oh, big risk from Brian Curtin as it was very nearly cut out there by Cian Lynch, and it's won back by Declan Hannon. And Mark Carmody, well, he did his best as the ball comes forward with Mark Connolly now, with John McSweeney, and McSweeney adjudged to have taken too many steps, and Burns will step up again, or Gillan was coming.
Jason Gillan is coming over to take this one. Whether he'll get it now or not, I don't know.
And he will.
he will.
Burns, the captain, leaves it for Gillan.
It shows great confidence from Jason, whether he scores now or is different, but for
Great
young
confidence in his captain as well, Jack, to give it him, you know. Definitely.
A competent free taker.
Obviously he's played in goals for Limerick underage and Mary I as well, and I saw him score a huge one against UL in the Fitz 2 years ago. Well, definitely in his locker.
He'll have plenty of distance here, and it's one they need. It's a big time to take a free. Your team is 5 minutes from the end, 2 down. Gillan strikes it, and he strikes it right and wide. And well, dare I say, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 wides from frees. 5 wides from frees that they've had now, and that is a lot in a game of fine margins. As Brian Curtin just belts it long. Cian Fitz trying to get at it. Willie Griffin has a man ahead. Great block from Patrick Kirby. Cian Fitz trying to get through. Is he fouled? Play on, says the referee. Nothing happening. Steps surely, and it steps in a huge moment to the well.
And
Patrickswell.
Adare players all over the place, pumping the air, which is how fired up there for this game as they're about to make a substitution.
Owen Ryan coming onto the field of play and goes straight to Cian Lynch.
And what a shift by Wayne Mack there, Ger.
Wayne McNamara comes off the field of play, and a man, as I said, who works in Dubai and comes back week on week, and what a soldier he is and what a player he's been for his club and indeed his county. He's given us many good days in a green jersey, and well, is he about to put his side into the last four of the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship? John Fitzgibbon with a chance. He's a fine striker. It's going to go right. It's going to drop. It's going to drop over the crossbar. Well, we were hardly thinking of it as John Fitzgibbon struck that. We said against the breeze it probably wasn't in his armoury, and that is a super score from John Fitzgibbon. Matt O'Callaghan, one of the frees of the afternoon.
Absolutely, certainly, and he stood up to it, nailed it at an important. It's a 3-point game with 3 minutes of normal time left. This is a huge 3 minutes in the context of the Limerick Championship, because certainly one of the favourites. They need something special to pull it out now at this stage, because certainly, but we saw right from the very start, I think, of the second half, how pumped up and how fired up Adare were. Now there was a temporary lull there when Cian Lynch got a couple of points and they pulled back level, but like the intensity and the work rate of Adare in the second half, like it belies everything that went before it. In like what was an easy forgettable. It was a forgettable first half. Let's face it, Jack, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
You know, but certainly the second half has given us quite a lot more of what we were expecting from these two teams, and certainly Adare have really stepped up to the plate. Whether they will be able to see it out is a big question, but now we're into the last 2 minutes of normal time, and whatever that Eamon Stapleton will choose to add on.
Well, here it is. It's Jason Gallan taking it from Cian Lynch. He strikes it back on the back foot. It's going over the crossbar. We're not finished just quite yet. Jason Gallan with a super score there.
The difficulty of that score there, Jerry, he's run towards his own goal. He's looking around for any options, and he takes the shot like he has no right to score that, and it's a 2-point game.
Well, it would send shockwaves were Adare to win here. Patrickswell, strong favourites coming into it. Declan Hannon catches it, but he stepped out over the sideline. It was a super take from the Adare and Limerick captain, as John McSweeney is, or Joe Sweeney, I should say, is underneath us here, looking maybe he'll be coming into the field of play in a matter of moments. It's it's squeaky bum time, as they say. 59 minutes, 2 in it. Adare with the advantage. It's a dangerous lead. It's Declan Hannon that has it. Playing it forward to Shane O'Connor, leaving it beat him. O'Connor brings that back, looking to turn. Got a point the last day against Kildimo. It's gone out over the sideline over there, and it's going to be a sideline cut to Adare. And this is Brendan O'Connor country.
He's inside in the square this time. I think he's leaving it to Declan Hannon, and we saw
might be no bad choice.
Declan, when he was younger, I think took a lot of these sideline balls. Was kind of known for a while, but now would be the time to step up and take it.
Well, Brian Foley is on the phone underneath us. I'm sure he's not talking to somebody about what's happening at home in Adare. He's talking to somebody up high in the stand who's telling him what needs to be done to close this one out. We're approaching the last 20 seconds of play. Hannon on the far sideline. He'll look to do something wise with this. He gets it a toe off of Willie Griffin. It's Charlie McCarthy who's going to win it. Hannon is still free. He's not picked up. He's a chance to plant the feet. Hannon strikes. It goes in. He doesn't like it because it goes away to the left hand side and wide. Wide number 11, a great chance and a puck out for Patrickswell, and it's going to go long from the stick of Murray. It breaks, the sun is in their eyes. It's Lynch onto it, but he can't find a gap. Jason Gallan, he strikes it off his right, he's put it in and over the crossbar, and we're back to a point game as Jason Gallan single-handedly leads the charge of this Patrickswell forward line. 17-18, one between them. Are we destined for extra time in this one as well? It's been a long afternoon, Jack.
12 months ago, Patrickswell were behind by Adare for 50 minutes, and they eventually reeled them in. They're behind with 60 minutes gone. Can they reel them in again?
Oh, well, it's Mark Carmody in possession. He's never had a more vital job to do. He gives it off to Jason Gallan. A one-man show. Gallan gets away with his hand in the air. What a turnaround from the well. And it's that man, Gallan, who said 1, 2, 3 in a row to tie this one up in the Gaelic grounds. 61 minutes gone and we're still playing.
What a score, Jory catches it and he's a right hand. He throws it up, switches and puts it over the bar.
There. It's Gillan again. He's got a chance with it. He doesn't like this one, does he? It's going in. It's going in. It's gone over the crossbar. Well, Jason Gillan, in a moment of magic, has hit 4 points in a row to stun Adare. The well lead, 19-18. He started his first on 58-30. It's now 61-25. That is some turnaround. As the Patrickswell are attacking, Kevin O'Brien has it. He hits it long and high. It's into the chest of Brian Curtin. We're in injury time. Will there be more? It's John Fitzgibbon to work it out. Across the field to David O'Mahony. Cian Lynch is with him. A great hand from Cian Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald fancies the strike. Put it high and he puts it over the crossbar. And Cian Fitz has turned this advantage into a 2-point game. It'll be heartbreak for Adare when this one ends, or if it ends in their defeat. Puck out coming long to Brendan O'Connor. It's Fitz who's underneath it again. It's pushed off possession. The ball is on the ground. How expensive is that miss from Mark Connolly now? As the kick comes, as the ball is on the ground, it's all over and Patrickswell win it. 20 points to 18. What drama in the final minutes in the Gaelic grounds. Adare, absolute heartbreak. The story of the game, Jason Gillan by 4 from 58-30 to 61-30. My God, what a turnaround.
What a turnaround. And look, we said it, Adare led for so long last year, eventually caught this year the exact same, but one man stood up above all others. Jason Gillan, 4 in a row in 4 minutes to win a game for your team. John Kiley might be thinking about Jason Gillan outfield next year, lads, will he?
Yeah, absolutely incredible turnaround, and we always sensed and we felt all the time and we suspected all the time like that there was something big coming from Patrickswell, which would have got long odds on where it came from. In the shape of Jason Gillan especially, but obviously the guy's confidence was high when they were trailing there at one stage by 3 points. I think he opted to take a long range free. Dermot Burns gave him it didn't work out for him, but by God, 5 points in total and 4 1 2 3 4. You couldn't script it, Joe. No. Absolutely. We were disappointed with a lot of the game, but like the drama that was packed into the last the last quarter of it was absolutely fantastic. When we saw Adare looking likely winners, but this is what happens when you have local derbies. Some spark somewhere, and like there are few greater rivalries in the game of seeing a hurling, and you're around it long enough to know now than Adare and Patrickswell. And you say form goes out the window, and it really goes out the window. But like, if there's one message to take from today, it is that at last we might have seen the gap between A and B very firmly bridged. Yeah,
and it's important to touch on that, Matt, because obviously we'll see Patrickswell and Kilmarnock next week, but for South Liberties and Adare, there'll be loads of regrets, but a lot to build on for next year, because they took 2 of the best teams in Limerick all the way today, just fell short. With that experience, they can build on for next year, definitely.
And there's a little matter to be decided yet. Who's going to be promoted from Section B?
Yes.
And we have a mouth-watering tie now in store for us between Adare and South Liberties. And from what we've seen here today, what a game that's going to be. So, like, it's winners all round today. I know for Patrickswell and for Kilmallock, it's semi-finals next weekend to look forward to. I know for general public and for the Limerick Championship, it's more of the same 4 for the 4th or 5th year in a row, making it to the last 4. Hopes, but it came, Jerry, very near being gate crashed today. Nearly being gate crashed twice.
Yes, and I think there was a time in both games in the last 10 minutes when we said, are we about to have a new team in there? And it was literally that close. And obviously Adare possibly a bit closer. I know the Liberties came from behind to get extra time, but it was that close.
But Liberties, the time that they went 2 points clear there towards the finish, and
yes,
they pulled wide after it, and it came oh so close, like, and right at the 59th minute, going into the 59th minute here, when John Fitzgibbon sent over that free in the 57th minute. You know, we said 3 points clear, 3 minutes to go. Huge 3 minutes.
And you would say it was going to have to be a goal at that stage.
Yeah, absolutely. But in stepped Jason Gillan. Like, if you were told that Gillan was going to step in, you would automatically think it was going to be Alan.
Yeah, you would. And I suppose for Jason, it's big for him because, like, he would have been living in the shadow somewhat of his brother, a double All-Star, 3 All-Ireland medals. I know Jason has 2 with his own name, but he hasn't played probably championship yet. And for him personally, like, it's huge, and it's brilliant to see a young player like that stand up. And we saw him taking the free, and he missed it just before. And you're pointing there, Jar. 30 minutes gone. They're down by 3, and Jason Glenn gets his first score today.
And he scores the lead point. It's not the winning point because Keane Fitz got one straight after it as well. And credit to him, that was the super point he got as well underneath us. A young player coming through. But 58-30 was his first. His second, his third. And his 4th point came on 61 minutes and 30 seconds. And like that's a phenomenal. It's like shots out of a gun.
You know, come back, Ride the Rovers.
And
it's Jason of the Well.
And I would say out of the 4 scores, were 3 of them with his back to goal. That he they weren't easy scores by any stretch of the imagination. Like, so, fair dues to Jason. He's pulled his team out of the fire. Fair dues to Adare. They gave it everything. Like, it's been an unreal day for Limerick hurling, lads, and it's been a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So we're back to the old guard.
Yeah.
We're back to Patrickswell. We're back to Kilmallock. We're back to Doon, and we're back to Napirshick.
Yeah, but I suggest they'll probably be shivering a bit in their boots at the moment, in that their preserve is about to be invaded. I would imagine by what we saw today. And even though Ballybrown might have gone down yesterday in a hand, like they're all quite capable of closing the gap. And a 4-horse race, Ger, could very, very quickly become an 8-horse race, which would be fantastic for Limerick hurling. I suppose if there's a downer in Limerick hurling in these heady days for the game in the county, it is that you have 4 clubs dominating it to the extent that they are. And like we definitely saw signs today of that being changed, and it was nearly brought about in both games. And you know, you talk about fine margins, and it was those little fine margins giving away little frees, you know, that you didn't matter, but they all add up at the end of the day. And in tight situations, you know, they can count so much. Particularly South Liberties, Kilmallock. Now, Kilmallock, you know, are going to be battle-hardened going against Doon.
And this is a huge game for both the Well and Kilmallock. Now, probably a bit more out of Kilmallock with the extra time, but for Patrickswell, they're coming in good stead. Right, maybe didn't play as well as they would have liked to play today for a long stages, but they've got the game under their belt now. And in a championship, as we said earlier on, where you're only coming in playing your 3rd game today, you know, this is a huge advantage going to a semi-final.
It is a huge advantage, and the respective managers now, John O'Mara and Tony Considine, they'll be absolutely delighted. First of all, that they got through, but they'll be delighted with the quality of the challenges that they've got, the games that they have got. All right, Patrickswell have lost, both of them have lost the game along the way, like which in itself is something to learn from, if nothing else. But you know, you're right. It's a good day for Limerick hurling. It's a good day in which we wondered, would we see it? And like, if there was a flaw about the format in recent years, it was the format. It was the flaw or the perception that A was so far ahead of B. But I think we've seen the gap close somewhat today. And as I said earlier, you could see a 4-horse race easily becoming an 8-horse race.
Next weekend, we're in the final throws. We're in the semi-final stage. Double-header here again, I would assume, next weekend. In a word, Matt, Napirshick still favourites?
Napirshick, for me anyway, Napirshick haven't done anything to suggest other than that they're favourites to retain their title. Now, it will be a cracker with Patrickswell. And Patrickswell will have benefited. They'll have learned so much from today. And if you analyse the Patrickswell performance today, you know, all the narrative for the week will be about Jason Gillan And now I see that Keane Lynch has just got
Yes.
the Man of the Match award. So, you know, you'd have to think that Keane Lynch and definitely on Galan, that there's a lot more impact and a lot more influence in him. So, like, it's not going to be a gimme for the PRC. Plus the fact that they have been idle for a couple of weeks now.
And that's the thing.
And you know, it's the same for Doon. You know, and from last year's semi-final, Kilmallock will have a score to settle with Doon. Barry Murphy is the Doon captain. He's going to be missing. He's a huge loss, a huge influential player. I think we're in for a mouth-watering conclusion to the Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. I think at this remove, and I'll have to reflect on it, don't ask me to call it, I'll have to reflect on it during the week. You know, it would be a brave man who would say we'll contest the county final in 3 weeks' time.
Well, we've had a very, very interesting day at the Gaelic Grounds. The first quarter-final brought us an absolute thriller. It was 5-17 to 133. It finished after 4-14 to 26 points in normal time. The men from South Limerick, the Baalbek, came through, and they will go into that pot, as Matt said, for next weekend. And now, in a different type of a game here, and equally as entertaining, but a different type of a game, it's Patrickswell who come late to beat the might of Adare, trailing on 57 minutes, 15 points to 18, 4 in a row from Jason Galan, added to 1 at the end by Cian Fitzgerald, a second half substitute, leads them into a county semi-final, a final scoreline of Patrickswell 20 points, Adare 18. We thank you for your company this evening and this afternoon. My thanks to Jack Neville and to Matt O'Callaghan for their commentary and their analysis all the way through. From myself, Ger Downs, it's been a pleasure. Until we see you for next weekend's semi-finals, good night and God bless.